Question. So I hear you put a lot of emphasis on the free market, fixing, for example, like racism and being self-regulatory. A pure example of this is if a business refuses business to a minority, a competing business will pop up and steal the business of folks who found the former business immoral, and that will run the racist business out of business. If you're following me here.
All right. I got you.
All right, so with a country so large as the United States, couldn't there still be enough niche market to keep the original business afloat? If there is enough of a niche market to keep it afloat, does the government have the responsibility to make it illegal to refuse service based on the color of someone's skin, or do you see that as government overreach setting bad precedents?
So I think that there's certainly niche markets for racism. I mean, there's still people who sell racist crap online and do just fine with it. But the question is, are these people who are going to thrive? And also, are we willing to sacrifice your right to freedom of association in order to crack down on a few bad actors? And this is always the question when it comes to rights. It's the same question with gun rights. Are we willing to crack down on hundreds of millions of, on 100 million gun owners in the United States in order to get the few bad actors? Are we willing to crack down on freedom of association for hundreds of millions of people in order so that we get a few bad actors, particularly when the market prevents these people from becoming wildly successful? They are punished by the market because if you're a racist, you can only cater to that niche as opposed to being able to cater to a broader possible audience. The best example of integration, by the way, through the free market is Woolworths, the Woolworths counter, which was boycotted in 1960 before the Civil Rights Act by a bunch of black students who walked in and they said that they wanted to be served. And the restaurant said, well, by local law, we cannot serve you. And they said, well, we're just going to sit here until you do. And pretty soon the entire Woolworths chain changed its segregation policy. And that's because there were a bunch of people who said, we're not going to shop there anymore, right? The Montgomery bus boycott is another example of this sort of stuff working. I think that is effective. I think it's actually more effective now than it was then, because then you were at least bound by location. Right? What if there was no competing business that could find a place to rent across the street? Now everything's online. So you can get anything online. Now, all these people who are walking into Christian bakers and demanding that they serve their same-sex wedding, first of all, if you can't find a gay baker in the United States, I don't know where you live. But second of all, there are lots of cake-making companies that you can go online and just buy a cake from them. And if that Christian is willing to lose the business, well, then the Christian's willing to lose the business. It seems to me that's a much better cure for the problem of supposed discrimination than saying that we are going as a government to regulate who you can and cannot serve as a client. As I pointed this out to Jimmy Kimmel, who was doing this, one of my favorite punching bags. Jimmy Kimmel was saying this about exactly this case with the gay bakers. And I said, well, Jimmy, I would like for you to write me a comedy routine about the nastiness and horrors of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, and I demand you do so right now. Right? This is your skill set. How dare you deny me service? Just because I'm a conservative, you're going to deny me service? That's discrimination. How could you do such a thing? The same principle that allows Jimmy Kimmel to refuse me service allows the Christian couple to refuse to serve the same-sex wedding. And I'm pretty extreme when it comes to the freedom of association. I think that you should be able to reject anybody from your business you want to, even if you're a piece of crap and you reject people you really shouldn't.